Harvard University is in a standoff with the Trump administration, and the outcome could reshape the very foundation of academic freedom in America. In a public letter released Monday, Harvard President Alan Garber said recent federal demands pose a direct threat to the university's values, as a private institution devoted to free inquiry and independent thought. No government, regardless of which party is in power, should dictate what private universities can teach, whom they can admit and hire, and which areas of study and inquiry they can pursue. His statement comes as the Trump administration freezes hundreds of millions of dollars in federal funding, not just at Harvard, but at other top universities as well. The federal government says these schools are failing to adequately combat anti-Semitism on campus. Tensions erupted after last year's Hamas attack inside Israel, followed by a devastating Israeli military campaign in Gaza. In the aftermath, pro-Palestinian student protests broke out at several major universities, including Harvard and Columbia. The Trump administration claims these protests crossed the line, fostering an environment of hate and discrimination against Jewish students. In recent weeks, the government has halted roughly $400 million in funding to Columbia University, and is now reviewing nearly $9 billion in federal grants and contracts awarded to Harvard. The message is clear: address anti-Semitism as defined by the government, or lose access to crucial federal support. According to reports, the administration is even considering forcing Columbia into a consent decree, a legal agreement that would require the school to follow federal rules for combating anti-Semitism. Critics argue that would be unprecedented, putting academic institutions under direct federal supervision, not just for safety compliance, but for political speech. At Harvard, some faculty are pushing back. A group of professors has filed a lawsuit against the Department of Education, accusing the government of violating the First Amendment by attempting to audit the personal beliefs and political speech of students, faculty, and staff. They argue this isn't about protecting students, it's about punishing dissent, Trump's higher ed agenda. The White House sees it differently. Spokesman Harrison Fields said the president is working to make higher education great again, and that taxpayer dollars shouldn't support institutions that promote, quote, racial discrimination or racially motivated violence. It's part of Trump's broader agenda to reshape higher education, one that critics say blurs the line between protecting students and silencing political viewpoints. This battle isn't just about Harvard, it's about whether the federal government can, or should, influence what universities teach, how they handle protests, and what kind of speech is acceptable on campus. For now, the funding freeze is a warning shot, but with billions of dollars on the line and elite institutions in open defiance, this fight is far from over. As the 2025 school year approaches, universities across the country are watching closely, because what happens at Harvard may define the future of academic independence in the United States.